Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the 100K Bink or Bust Bankroll Challenge, where we try to run $2,500 to 100K within 6 months. We are currently on schedule for that. So far, in our first 56 days, bankroll sitting at about 9,500. Dipped a little bit yesterday, not much. Like lost $100, right over half it, about 200 buy-in kind of thing. Which is kind of one of those days. I'm actually super happy um, with that outcome, to be honest. A little bit smaller, so we'll defend here more often. I think we played really well, and the fact that we were only down that much is actually pretty good, considering terrible turn card. Considering we lost to kings versus aces all in pre-flop twice. And we held our own. We played against a couple regs, three-handed NL 200, and we won a buy-in. Felt actually really comfortable playing them, so on, bro. Yeah, super happy, but runouts have not been good to us lately. Kind of case in point right here. I don't think we can call if he rips it. Versus that. It's about as gross of a run out for having king 10 as you could possibly get. We do beat ace king, we do beat pocket aces, we do beat bluffs. We lose to everything else. Beat queen 10, we lose to queen king, we lose to 9-10, we lose to queen 10. The issue is, if you, I don't know anything about this guy. If he's just a mega spew, then you could argue definitely calling here. But we lose to king jack, queen jack, pen jack, ace jack, jack 9 suited. I guess all the flush, I guess we just have to fold. I don't know. I'd love for him to show, but I doubt he will. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't. Maybe we just need to call down certain spots like that, but he'd have to be pretty super spastic-y for that to be a call, I think. Haven't really played any hands against him, so you could argue shoving turn for sure. Let's try to win a hand here. Okay, lost a lot of hands, all at NL 200 this morning. Sinner raises. We'll try a small check raise here. Could argue maybe calling with this villain in the big, with this villain still in the pot. 30, 40, 50. Yeah, we'll just hope he stations off with King X. And we rip it. Nice. Against this guy, we're gonna check. Okay, and we'll just bet small. This guy's shown a tendency to blast when you check back flop. So when you smash it that hard against somebody who has a tendency to barrel. Fold here. All right, this guy's definitely a whale. You can just tell by the way he's chatting. Okay, let's just get the stream pulled up. That's good. That probably got us even on the day, so kind of a restart. We'll definitely defend the 7-8 suited against the button raise. It's a pretty good flop for us. Okay, that's up and running. So we got two NL 200 tables, an NL 100, and an NL 50 table. It's a really big bet. Um, Fold here. I guess we'll call, and then probably have to shove, or sorry, have to fold if he shoves. Um, it's a really big bet. Yeah, just let this go. Can't chase with the flush draw out there. Fold 9-5. I think you're probably better off shoving or folding on flop with the flush draw being out there. The issue is he's never folding, so shoving's probably just a big spew. Folding might be too nitty, but I don't really think so. All right. Anybody Bink the Bad Beat? Tokyo, he's got a YouTube page. Oops. So he was one of the guys we were actually playing three-handed with. Yeah. I was actually super happy with how I played yesterday, despite being down. Whatever it was that I ended up being down. This was a huge misclick, so I think we'll just call. Check fold, I guess, now. Yeah, I think I'll just fold. Get it out of the way. Okay, so we 3-bet free, Derek calls. We c-bet flop, Derek calls. Pick up a flush draw on the turn. I think we'll go for a check shove. Please call my family. We'll 3-bet the ace-10 suited. Goes full half pot. I think we probably just fold here or shove. Still got 48 behind. I feel like when he goes that big, it's probably should just be a check fold. Okay, we win. So that's just a bad bet by him, given I think if he's bluffing, he should probably just like bet small or rip it. The ace king we obviously raise. We were playing when this bad beat jackpot hit actually, but we were not on the table. We were on the waiting list. So close. He called sevens. Okay, interesting. Well, let's get the poker craft pulled up. Fold here, fold 5-3, fold the 8-6 off. Against ABBA, I think I'll just check here. I know we block him from having a whole bunch, but he just doesn't like to fold, so we're better off just checking in a lot of spots where we have showdown value. Okay. You could argue betting on a further street for value. Okay, so let's pull this over here for today. Refresh that. Get that out of the way for a second. Okay, jack, king, queen. We'll just check here. Okay, that's good. He leads into us. I think we want to raise here. Calls. We want to raise for the times he has a queen. We want to build the pot a little bit. Jack 9, nice. Yeah, if he has a queen, the money's just going to go in. So we can just kind of target the jacks to the tens. Excuse me. Or like the really weak queens, and then let him just rip the rest, and we can stack them that way. Wed Chickadee goes to 4x. ABBA calls. Okay, we need to 3-bet here with the aces. Check here. And here we'll go like, what are we doing? 21. Then we're just going to shove pretty much everything. So you raise call king 10 off. What are you folding is the question. All right. So no matter what fell here, when we go half his stack, we're just shoving. Obviously having the queen out there is fantastic. So unless he like has kings or aces, we're going to be in great shape. And yeah, we'll run it twice. I called the threes here. That sucks. I made the right call. And let's please call my family. 8 for ace, 4 suited. We're gonna bump that up. So anyways, prior to that win, yeah, we did. Yeah, we're down about 100, and then now we're up 40. So that NL 200 hand took us out of there. So this was the guy I'm always talking about that kills the NL 200 action. Better mute. I am muted. Perfect. Is or one of them anyways. Because Rex will see this guy playing like NL2K or up to NL2K. So it kind of puts us pretty sure most of the time when this run out, queens are supposed to go like bet, 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 bet. But against this guy, we're just going to fold because he's not going to fold an ace. So I don't want to try to force the issue too much. And he probably calls, yeah, he probably calls ace king. All right, let's try again. It's funny, the only hand he's folded to is when we have picked aces. I haven't won with aces in a long time. Hit Lord. Okay, check there. All right, we'll 3-bet the queens. And we're going to value bet here. He's going to call pretty much any heart, I think. So we'll try to get some value out of him. Quantum flush cold calls. Okay. Go small. We make the nuts on the river here. Raise. Rune calls the 3-bet and then check raises here. All right, we probably have the same hand, but he's also going to overvalue ace king, ace jack, king jack stuff. So I think we just have to rip it. But here in the bottom right, we're just going to call. Yeah, of course. And we're going to run into pocket jacks some portion of the time, pocket nines, but given this guy's a bit of a whale, I think we call off the overpair. Yeah. It's usually how it goes. Anytime somebody shows aggression, like look at that. Okay. That guy has the nuts, and this guy has the nuts. So, yeah, what do you do? Should probably just fold. Like, that's the real reality. Every time. Just fold everything, yes. Okay. So, sorry. I only had a nice run up for a minute there. Fold the a7, the 6, a7's a raise. Fold 10 deuce. All right, fresh start. This is a little fresh start for today. I'm actually pretty happy with how things have been going lately, considering we've actually been running pretty bad. You could definitely argue just folding flop there, though, for sure. And then yesterday, I think we ended up down 50 plus a bit of rake back plus a bit of rate. But yeah, pretty happy with, honestly, with yesterday. It was like, I think we lost with set over set, kings and aces twice. And then we had pretty happy with how we played though, overall. So won't complain too much. We will call the king. Check here. Paid a little bit extra in rate on that last hand with queen 10, unfortunately. I mean, when you're up against a 50 VPIP player, like they will mass overvalue ace 4, ace 6, ace king, ace jack, you know what I mean? King jack, that kind of stuff. So while you could argue that he probably has queen 10, he can definitely have other hands, even sets, like slow play pocket fours, new, slow played fours, slow played sixes, stuff like that. Okay, I'll fold the ace 8. sorry, the 8-6 offsuit. The Jack 10 of hearts, we will bump that up. Raise the Ace Jack suited, fold the King 7 suited. Okay. On this board, we'll go half pot. We'll defend the Jack over here. He calls. Checks turn. I think we have the call here with the Jack. Once turn checks around. And here, the issue is his stack size. But I think if he doesn't have anything or an 8, he probably folds to half pot. And if he's like strong with a queen or better, he'll rip it. And we don't really have a ton of equity. We need to like protect by checking back or something. This time bank thing is a nightmare. Like, if you're only winning 2 BBs per 100 and now all of a sudden you're rando paying 2 big blinds when you accidentally time bank, it's ridiculous. Like, it's such a steal. It's just like pure theft. I get they're trying to keep the games running, but like, holy man. Ace Queen versus the Royal Flush Draw. Not today. What happened here? 7-8 suited. Check, check, check. Bet 43. All check, check. And leaves. At least this please call my family's gone. It's nice to see. See if the NL 200 games keep running or not. I guess we can open an NL 50 table. See if we can get some action. It'll at least keep players coming. Like if they can't even sit down at any table, they'll generally just leave. But there's having a couple tables open. At least the Rex can kind of sit down and join. I will fold the Queen 4, fold the Ace Deuce. But yeah, again, like super happy actually with how I played yesterday, so I won't complain too much. Let's see how the opponent's list went. Mid Fisher, Slacker, Ruby Jones, yeah. So a couple of these big ones we actually grinded some back, but we ran into Kings versus Aces against Ruby. We ran into Lucky Charms, having again Aces versus Kings, like 3 hands in. So it was a pretty foolery day. Flop checks around. It's gonna be hard to get any action here. 3 ways. Sammy probably just has like King Jack or something. Best case, he could have like King 10 or Ace 10 or something like that. So I think we try to target that. Given like 5, 6, 7, I think it's unlikely he would have 8, 9 here and slow play that, given the fact that this is a board where we're going to have a lot of like 2 pairs, flush draws, pair plus straight draw, like that kind of stuff. So I couldn't see him ever slow playing. Made hand there. Adrian Pop says, good morning. Good morning, Adrian. The grind is back. So our goal was to hit 12K by the 18th. It is super doable if we can go on a small heater, just to keep on track. But our volume has been relatively low lately, so we're hoping we can get that up a bit. But with everything going on, kind of real world, it will be difficult. We'll just call it that. To put more volume. I keep forgetting to adjust the delay. It does not need to be a 6-minute delay now. It only needs to be like 2 minutes, really. Actually, I'm going to just check here. What is my time bank? 5-3 suited, we can defend. And we'll bet here with the 6-7 suited. So you get 50 seconds plus 30 seconds plus like, what, 20 seconds? Yeah, so I think if we did like a 3 minute delay, that'd be pretty safe. Even a 2 minute delay would, in theory, be pretty safe. And he bets. We're gonna check raise here. It's a pretty small bet on this board, so we're just gonna check raise with the gut shot. I think he'd go bigger with most aces. He does call, and we're gonna barrel again here. So in this scenario, we do have some outs. I think the odds of him having an ace are not super high, especially now that there's a second one on the turn, given his bet sizing on the flop. We're representing like ace deuce, ace eight, flush draws. We will barrel one more time and then probably give up. And he does let it go. And the reality is, if we blast on this ace, it's just super strong. So having some bluffs in there is a good spot for sure. And we just let the fours go. Not really sure what happened pre-flop there. Yeah, we just called him. That was it. And we'll try to keep an eye up on the tables, see if anything else pops open, but raise the ace 10, raise the tens, fold the 10-4. And here, I guess we'll check one time. We're going to check a lot of our range, so we'll check here. And then we'll just call flop. And then we'll just check call turn. Hopefully just got like ace 5, king 5. That works. Now 50 is just free money. All right, fold king 4. So we'll be able to get hopefully a longer stream today. We started at how long have we been on? Yeah, we started at about 4:30, 4:40. So we should be able to get at least, a two and a bit, at least a two and a bit in here. I will just defend the ace two suited this time from the big blind. He'll be looking to check raise a bunch here if he bets small. He does bet small. We'll check raise. Probably just ISO here. He quickly lets that go. That's unfortunate. I guess we just fold. If we had an overcard, I'd probably just call. Even though he probably doesn't have too many aces. This is a board we're just gonna bet on. He's gonna have a huge range here. So, and we're gonna have all the aces, all the queens. So there's not a whole lot of draws out there. There's like king 10 and king jack off, stuff like that. The suited versions obviously raise. M. Juan. Squeezes, we'll just let that go. Excuse me. As if you guys are watching the stream, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. Channel's been growing. I think we'll flow here. Channel's been growing pretty decently lately, so I do definitely appreciate the support, and the thumbs up does help promote the videos. The more interaction they get, the longer you guys watch, the more YouTube pushes them out. I think, okay, that's what we would expect from him mostly. Excuse me. Being an under the gun open, I'm not sure. Like, this could just be a squeeze, it could be a fold. Probably better to just squeeze there. But king queen is suited. We definitely squeeze. I'm not going to double barrel against chicken parm, even though that's a very good card to double barrel. He's just too stationy. And he, yeah, like, case in point, like you're calling king, I guess, whatever. All right, ISOing the king jack suited. Glad I didn't fold there to one big blind. Goes bigger on the turn, we'll let that go. And we'll just see that. Sixes, I was thinking probably a good spot to shove a lot of the time here, but not when the six rolls off. You're just gonna have too many 6x. Anything but a six for the most part, or like obviously like the 9 and 4 and stuff that gives like tons of straights get there. You could probably just ship river a bunch. And here at a position, but we're just gonna see that. Okay. We are over c-betting a little bit on this bottom left table against certain villains. But the reason for that is they will overfold in a lot of spots. So we want to, man, we want to be c-betting to kind of take advantage of that and win those bigger pots. Is that a 3-bet pot or an ISO pot? Yeah, we did 3-bet Papa Johnny and then get cold called. So I guess I wasn't really paying attention enough. Given the fact that we got cold called, should probably just have checked. All right. Obviously, this bottom left 1-2 table, we're in a fantastic spot with a fish on our left and 2 whales on our right. Tables are actually really good. We have pretty much a couple whales on our right on, or at least one on every table. Fold the 9-5. We will raise the 5-4 suited. And I think we'll double barrel here on the king. I guess we can bring up today's graph just so we have it loaded in. I think we're probably around even, give or take. Yeah. Yep, we're down, we're up again, and back down again. Yeah, we lost that. I ran it back up, back down. Yeah, it makes sense. Fold to raise the sevens. So I think overall lately we've actually been playing pretty well. I am going to stab at this again. Given we have the hearts, the backdoor draw, and an overcard, we're up against 2 fish who are going to play pretty fit or fold. There's not really a whole lot of draws they're going to be stationing with, so we'll try to take advantage of that as much as we can. And we want to be pretty relentless on ISOing fish because there's going to be a ton of money to be made there. Okay. How much does he raise? He raises enough that we could probably just squeeze this. He goes full pot. I think we're going to call here. It's a good turn card. I was going to say, I think we're just going to call down because he does like the barrel. He might just show low down here on the jack, though. Well, he's got way more outs than I would expect him to have, to be honest. What are we dodging on 9 or a heart? And here we're just going to c-bet small. If they don't have an ace, they're probably going to fold. Or they'll both have aces and call. So really, we're just looking for a king or a queen at this point. Nice. Yeah, we'll check. The thing with fish too is that they'll do a lot of calling with ace king. It's unfortunate. Chicken palm calls again. I think we'll double barrel here. We block queen jack. Just get out of my life. Fold here. Ace deuce clubs. Take it down. 10 jack. Come on, bro. The issue with calling there is just that we're kind of stuck in the middle. You know? You could argue that we should probably just go like bet shove there, but again, with fish, like cold call's so crazy. It's even crazier. He defended the Jack 10 off to the squeeze, which led him to call. Not sure about that one. Fold 10 deuce off. Haven't been making a lot of hands lately, or at least not getting paid with them when we do make them. That was a nice little pickup though up here. The ace queen. Crazy to see that hand though. Guess we should start betting the ace high more often against him. Again, we'll ISO the king 9 off. Let's just make it a raised Jack 10 off from G and called the squeeze and good blind. C-bet call's fine, given we went small. And we'll defend the 6. 5, 6, 7, 8. Make the straight. Straight. Alright, flop top pair here. Again, we're going to keep betting. 6, 8 calls, 7, 8 calls, 9, 8 calls, 9, 10 calls. And I think we check back here. Just enough with these run-ins, man. I'm going to call. So that's kind of the case and a point we were talking about with ace king and being aware in like 3-bet pots and stuff when you're against fish is that they can have ace queen, they can have ace king, stuff like that you would expect to at least 3-bet or at least 4-bet. They do a lot of calling in spots. Now you do some calling with ace king off, but this is like a lot of it. Right. Turn checked around, I think. Yeah, so, or wait, who bet 1 big blind? Yeah, we're just going to overbet this now that our 8's dead. Oh, Quantum had a queen, I guess. Yeah, nice hand. Okay. So, for those of you guys just checking the channel out, we are on day 56 of the 100K Bankroll Challenge. We have streamed pretty much every day. Been sick a few times where we missed it. And we'll defend the 3-bet with ace queen, blind versus blind. For the most part, we've streamed every day in the morning. For this challenge, we are to almost 10,000 from the 2,500 starting point. Interesting. I think we block bet here. Still get called by some like king jacks and queen kings and stuff. Then I think we will block that river as well. We still get called by worse. We are going to be cautious of like ace king type hands. Queen 10. Yeah. Crazy that there's no raise there. But that's fine. I guess the pot. Pocket 7s. Probably 4-bet this actually. More than call, but we'll definitely defend here. Anyways, we're almost up to 10K. We are ahead of schedule. We're trying to do this in 6 months. The whole point of this is to basically try to prove the poker dream is alive and well, that you can take a small amount of money and run it up playing poker. Just need to study, learn the game, figure out how to beat it, and you can turn it into a lot of money pretty quick with the effect of doubling, basically. If you take a stake, play enough hands, which is very, very doable. Especially if all you do is have a job or go to school, then you should easily be able to put in like 3,000 or 4,000 hands a day, even with a regular time job. It's a little more difficult if you have some other responsibilities. Like I have a job, I have a family. So for me to put in that many hours and that many hands a day is relatively difficult. But I mean, I just get up early, try to put in a couple thousand hands at least. But usually we average around 2,000 hands a day. Lately, it's been about 1,000 to like 1,200 hands a day, which is definitely not enough volume for this challenge. Um, but I mean, if all you're doing is working or all you're doing is going to school, there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't be able to play at least 3,000 hands a day, and have time to study, like for half an hour, 45 minutes, if you're actually committed to doing it. And if you're doing that, then you'll be able to run up stakes pretty quick, like um, to a point where you could hire a coach to. This is interesting. Um, I like. I don't like the. Not a huge fan of the jack there, but I'm not sure what to make of that click it back, to be honest. So we're going to proceed pretty cautiously here with just a bunch of block bets. And if we get raised, we're probably just going to throw our hand away. The micro 3-bet was suspicious. The call of the 4-bet was suspicious. So I think we just keep attacking small and try to prevent him from blasting on us. And if he shoves again, we're just done. And if he calls down, we should win. Okay. Min 3-bet. Ace 5 suited in position. All right, so we've got ourselves a whale, folks. We've called ourselves a whale. We will call the king here. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna be leaving this table probably. Min 3-bet ace 5 suited position, called small 4-bet, then called the flop and river. But essentially, there, 33%. Check and call. And 33%. And get out of the way and fold. Okay, we'll fold to that. Papa John shipped that in. Oh, we lost Papa John from the NL 200 table, and he went to NL 50. I guess we let that go for the pot. Ooh, that hurts. Hurts to see that. The shove doesn't make a lot of sense there because, like, I'm calling a king and then, but I mean, he pushes us off a chop, I guess. You know, in that sense, maybe it's good play. We will call the 10 here. He does catch the jack. That's fine. We get 3-bet here. We'll defend the ace suited. Here, and he goes small. It's an interesting sizing. It's really small for like 10 or kings on this board. Ace king even. So, it's a good turn card. I was gonna say he's more likely to probably have like ace queen, stuff like that. Right. I think we need a check here. I think I'm not going to though. If he has ace queen, like he's not gonna fold, or queen 9, or like king jack, king 10. They're all gonna call 1. Obviously, we don't want the board to pair, but given his weak like flop bet, I think it's unlikely he's gonna have a set here. We actually lost with the nut flush draw the other day. I think it was the king of hearts that came on the turn, and they actually had like queen 9 of hearts, and we had like ace 4 of hearts, and we lost to the straight flush. Okay, he calls, and probably ripping is the best play here, to be honest. But he probably doesn't know me, because I don't know him, and if he is a reg, then we're more likely to get paid off here with a smaller bet than if we ripped that. Yeah. The only issue is like ace queen is probably the exact hand we bet. But again, like, see, even at higher stakes, people like bet sizing is huge. Like when the second he went small on that flop, here's a good hand. This is a good hand to review. And think about this. When he second, like he 3-bets as we call, and then this tiny ass little bet on the flop. Let's go to big blind so it's easier to make out what we're talking about. This tiny bet on the flop, it is absolutely nothing because he's never gonna go. Like he's just never going that small. Fours, tens, kings, ace, king, king, ten. Um, he's just not. It's not going to happen. There's too much out there that I can have. So he's going to size up on this board correctly. So when he goes super small, you know, it doesn't. It's different if the board was like king, 10, 4, rainbow, or like maybe not even king, 10, 4, rainbow, but like king, 7, 3, rainbow, or something like that. Then yeah, then you'll see like small bets. Um, with pocket kings, sets, like all that kind of stuff. But generally, like when the board's this wet, it doesn't make any sense for him to have anything. Even that's terrible. Like he should be betting big here with the overcard and the gut shot. Anything else is bad, right? But when he does that, they just turn their hands face up. So like we're basically going to be able to float here, um, and then go bet bet. Like if he checks and goes bet bet. Obviously, certain cards like the Jack of Hearts would be one that we'd be cautious about going too crazy with because he could have like an ace queen or an ace jack type hand, like we kind of thought. And then for us, I think the only question is the river. And I think if we shove there, he folds everything except for maybe ace queen. He might still fold ace queen. Um, but it's funny though, I think like if we actually checked back turn, he would have blasted river. We could shove, and I think we actually get called because he'll think we would have barreled the hearts on the turn. Um, so maybe our initial rate or our initial thought of checking back turn was correct potentially, but um, yeah, I think I'm not sure about the river. I think betting this size though, for the random times he does have like just a queen or like jack 10, queen 10, 10 9 suited, something like that. Uh, then we're gonna get paid from all that more than the ace queen. I don't know. It's kind of back and forth. I think we're probably just supposed to shove there and let him decide if he wants to call or not. You probably, in the end, in the long run, you probably win more that way. I would think. All right, we'll just let this go. Let's just check the tables here. Not a whole lot running. 5-10. Please call my family. Elite egg. Interesting. And he's playing 5-10. It's a pretty big mistake for somebody playing 5-10. He also could just think I'm like uh, unknown to him, so potentially just thinks I'm a fish or something. Uh, so could have just been betting small because he's assuming that we're not like reading into bet sizing or anything. Um, it's not really a great board for pocket queens. Dogs are strong. He's super nitty. All right, well, we're just going to go small and hope he folds. If he doesn't, we'll just try to check down. We will call the 10. It's just really not a good board for pocket queens. Yeah, we just have to let it go, unfortunately. Yeah, yeah. Probably has ace king. All right, we'll just check down here. Fold the sevens to the bet and the 3-bet. Okay, we take it with queen 10. We're definitely calling here with ace 10. We're just going to rip this. He might still call a 9. He might call draws like 7-8. And he might have jack 10, queen 10. And then there's just a bunch of like bad cards if it's like jack plus on the river. So we can protect our equity a little bit. Or deny him his equity, whatever you want to call it these days. Sevens. Oh, everything went in pre-flop though, yeah. Okay. Mark this guy a whale. He's not auto rebuying. It's like a number 1. I'm just gonna limp over limp here with the ace deuce suited. It is terrible, but we don't really need to worry about most of these villains coming over the top or anything. And I don't really want to raise and get shoved on. Oh, fuck, I don't know. When he limp calls, maybe it's just fine, realistically. And we will 4-bet this with the ace king off in position. Let's get flop. Okay, and we'll bet. Guess we'll defend the ace-9 suited. Such a small bet. Right back here. And call. Nice. We should have maybe kept going with it. It's hard to say. Like, if we, I don't know. Sometimes I just get a little nitty, you know? It probably should just be a bet shove, and we would have like stacked it a ton of the time. We end up, when it's been here, we just like call fold it. Okay, that's not a flop. Did they go full pot on the flop or something? Are you serious? And we'll just give Johnny room to shove, I think. I think that still gives him room to shove. Half flop check, turn bet, half pot. King, I guess whatever that means. It's fine enough. And I'm happy with this. That's good. We go to that sizing. I expect weak reg to actually call some portion of the time. But it obviously looks like I'm planning to rip over, so yeah, we'll run it twice. What are we dodging? Running straights or an ace? It's a good turn. Put an ace up. That's not an ace. Okay, no 3, no ace. Nice. Sorry, sir. It's okay. Ran bad here. Take it back over here. Works for me. Derek 3x's king 8 off. We'll just fold the king 5. All right, queens. We'll try to get the stacks, the ray stacks stack. If you guys are just joining the stream, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Really helps promote the videos. Holy Moses. All right, we're just going 15. We're targeting him right here. And four-handed, we'll just start to min open. We do need to proceed with some caution if quantum shoves, but outside of that, we're just going to have monster here compared to everybody else. And we're going to see bet here. We do have some backdoor and an overcard. Kind of annoying when a king falls. Let's aggro this guy. He's not aggressive, so we're going to start with a check. That's I think we just have to call down here. To a point. Yeah, he snap checks back. And we'll just go for value against 10s and jacks. Yep, as expected. I'm gonna value bet against Jesse. We're gonna value bet the king as well. We know she's just calling down with all kinds of stuff, so that's interesting. Okay, well. I'm just gonna fold here. Not really sure what hand he has that would check raise there, but again, I don't think there's any harm in overfolding spots. And that was a big check raise for a fish. To show that much strength on the bluff, they just don't like to do it. Okay, well, we're gonna defend and check here. I guess we have to defend with 2 overcards, I think. We're just gonna, I think we just attack this now. Well, I think his title is relatively suiting. It's a very awkwardly played hand. Maybe just misclicked. All right, we're checking the ace 10. And we call. Misclick alert. Misclick alert. Okay, and we will value bet the jacks here. There's all kinds of draws and stuff out there that they can have. So the plan was to go bet, or check call flop, check back turn, and then check raise river. But when the club comes out, villains will tighten up a little bit more with certain hands because now they're just worried that they're going to get check raised too often. He checks. I guess we value bet the 5, 5, 6, 4, 5. Right, and then we're obviously going to be value betting on the ace. So we just decided to lead out there. I think that's fine. All right, got lucky on the river. That makes sense. I still think it's a value bet on the turn. I think there's lots of cards that, one, we're going to be beating the call. Lots of hands that we're beating. And two, there's lots of hands that we could potentially just, well, one, we can hit a 5, we can hit an ace and get paid. Two, we could bluff rivers and get him to fold. Potentially. As well. And we'll fold 7-3. And we'll fold the ace-3 off. There's the kings. Yeah. Let's check in something here. Okay, we're just going to go big. Basically, this guy's a fish. We're just targeting when he has 10x, essentially. Yeah, I think we're just not going to fold. It's not a good turn. So as bad of a turn as you could get. Interesting they snap check, though. I think when they check, it's more likely they have like a 6-8 or an 8-9 type hand. So we're going to check back and then hopefully get them to bluff rivers. And then we're just going to rip here with the kings. And hope they try to hero call. Like, 7-8 or something. Or jacks. Almost got burned by the 10. Yeah, as soon as they check that 10, they don't have a 10 often enough, so we can just go for value there. Fold the 10-3. And most villains, if they're not like hand reading, they're just gonna, or even like slightly hand reading, they might think I'm never gonna do that with like kings or like a queen or like 7-8, so it's probably a bluff or a 10. Most people aren't going to make that play though. They're just going to check back the kings or bet really small. So when somebody does shove, it is basically saying I have a 10 or nothing. But most people are not bluffing, so they just have a 10, And a weak reg. He's 3-betting quite a bit. I think this time he went a little smaller, which probably actually pushes us more towards calling than 4-betting. We'll fold to Jack-7. All right, checks back flop. I don't know if I want to bet or check call. Probably better to bet. Thing is, like tens, jacks, stuff like that, we probably have one street of value on it, and then that kind of sucks. Just trying to think, like, try to get value out of like tens, jacks, queens. We chop with all the other aces now, and like pocket kings just made a boat. So it's kind of a gross spot. I'm not even like, obviously block betting's good, but if he raises, like, yeah, it's gross. If he raid, like, yeah. Ugh. Hmm. Checks back flop, calls turn. You block bet river and he blasts. He could be doing it with a worse ace. He probably doesn't have a 9 here. We block pocket aces, so 5, 6, 7, 8. I think in reality I kind of want to call. I also kind of don't want to call, but what are we getting? Like 3, 4 to 1 almost. And there's no straights, there's no flushes. Like if he has ace king or pocket king, so be it, I think. Maybe we just have to call. Nice, thank God. It's maybe that's just a snap call. I don't really know. Yeah, it's not really like a super uh, believable river barrel, right? Like it's basically saying I have ace, or sorry, like pocket kings or slow played pocket aces, but or pocket nines, right? Like there's very few hands that are checking back there. They're gonna raise river as well. And I think that's like following the story is one of the biggest things I think a lot of villains need to improve on. We're gonna check raise here with the tens. Probably should have just been a 3-bet. I gotta study like 200 big blind pots big time because I don't know enough about them. Um, like the old strategy that I remember that it used to be was like if you don't have like a hand that's gonna make the nuts, then you want to call more out of position than in position when you're this deep. Because they're gonna be just calling 3-bets because they can win so much money off of you if they hit. We do just let the ace 5 go here. Fold the 9-3 suited. Fold the 5 deuce. And we'll 3-bet here. Okay. And relatively dry board, we'll just go small here. With king queen, calls. It's interesting turn card. I think when the flush rolls out, we probably, oh wow. Huh. Turn top 2, and he blasts pot on the flush card. What do you do here? Just rips it and check 2. Turn, checks, rips it. Ace 7, slow plays. We'll check call here the ace. Would he ever do this with a flush? Like, that's the real question. Maybe just the ace of spades or something he does this with. We have top 2. Fuck. Am I just calling scared? Like, Guess I just fold. I don't know. Whatever. I was thinking he had the bare ace of spades now. I think we probably have the best hand. Check the queen jack. Okay, we make trips. Blast that. Okay, we're gonna bet here with jacks. Calls. Checks. Back. I'm gonna check back here on heads up. Checks. We're gonna value bet. And 7, 7, 8. That's interesting. So he's definitely not betting like he's just polarized to be blasting nuts or nothing, probably. Most likely nuts. More so than bluffing, but hard to say. 4x open, we'll just fold. The bigger they go, the smaller we can go. Brutality. What happened? 6-3, 10-7. Oh, wow. It's hilarious they both check with a flush. What in the heck is going on there? And we raise the 9-8. Fold here. I think we'll bet here because we block both the 7s. I think we block 7-8, block 9-7. And we're gonna ISO here with the ace-8. Definitely defend second pair kicker. And we'll definitely raise. And we'll bump this up. Raise the ace-10 suited, fold the ace-3, fold the deuce, check here. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. We are going to try to keep it going longer today than normal. It's good. Double the length if we can. If all things go according to plan, give or take. And check call river. We're definitely going to call here with the ace high against him. Okay, we take that down, fold 5-3. And I am just going to call here. He's just got such a massive range. Can't do anything but call down. And we'll fold the 7-4 and the 6-7 off. Make it whale. I need like a new tag for like the ultimate whales that are out there. Like we have the fish tag is blue. Then we have the whale tag, which is light blue. And then we have that like green-ish tag that are like the nitty fish, the nitty whales. And then there's just some guys though that are just too much. And they need their own tag. Okay, Derek folds. The longer you take, the more people fold. It seems like obviously that's just like random, but I just think it's funny. It does seem like if you tank it a lot of the time, people just fold. Okay, pocket kings. This is a great spot for Jesse to be in the hand. And we're gonna ice the kings, of course, against Danny Andre. Sinner cold calls, so we can expect him to have like tens and jacks a lot. Sometimes ace king, sometimes ace queen. Does call here. I think three ways. Three ways. I think probably just have to check. It's just kind of an unfortunate event that the ace falls and there's two other players in the pot. Now Sinner can have jacks here, could have queens here, could have like jack 10 suited here. So even when Andre calls, we have to call at least one for that sizing. Yeah, I think we let this go. Probably not, but and then when you continue blasting, we just have to fold, unfortunately, and get out of the way. You're never gonna go wrong folding to aggression from like weak players. Especially like that's just king. Like, yeah, sure we have kings, but it's second pair. You know, second pair in a three-way pot. With like the cold call out there. We are gonna double barrel on the 10. Yeah, that's a shitty run out for him. Just blast again here. Nice. Kick jack. 10-4. Two pair. Okay. That's fine. Okay. And at a position, but super dry board, we'll just bet. And continue on anything that gives us equity. 6, not so much, so we'll just check fold there at a position. Any heart, any 3, any 4, any ace, we'd keep betting. The Jack 10 off, we can bump up. And we'll go for the check raise here with the bet shot. Oh man, sorry bro. Folds. I wonder if we check there if we get a stack. He's like tilted, so he might just like think we're trying to stab at it again. So if we like check, we might get like bet shove out of him. I'm not sure. Ace-8 suited, I think, is a fold, but mostly it's like, you know what I mean, like Queen 10 suited and up is 3-betting out of the small blind there. Maybe not Queen 10, but King Jack, King 10 suited, I think, for sure against under the gun open. But the range of suited aces that are 3-betting might be way more than I am doing. Like Ace-8 might be a 3-bet there. Should double check that. Check 10-4, fold check 9. And we'll just try to get him off of his hand. Okay, we'll let that go. Alright, this is a pretty good flop, I'd say, for King Jack suited. I think we'll just go 50%. I don't think we need to go much bigger than that. Oh, sheepers. I would do mostly 3-bet pocket 8s there. Some portion of the time. 7s, I think deuces to 5 are well calls. Interesting that he checks to us. I'm just going to bet because I think it's easier to play. Ace hits and he tanks it. It's interesting. We don't have a lot of aces unless it's like ace 5, ace 9, ace king here. So we'll just check back and give up. Let that go. Right, because we're like not betting a lot of aces. They were just going to check, take the showdown value. And we raise the kings. No action. I've lost like a ton of hands here. Holy moly. So we are stacking here with the queen once we check to him. Checks back. We have one more shot to blast. Darn it. Fold 4 deuce. Alright, let's just check on today. I think it's been going pretty good over the last few hands. Yeah, man, I was gonna say we've probably been breaking even for a little while here, but overall it's pretty good so far today. I played 500 hands, 2 buy-ins. This board we go big for value. Check back the 7s. You should be expecting to win a buy-in with a table like this, like every hour, pretty much. That you're at that specific table. Checks, 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 and it goes full pot. I think I call. Okay, nice. Yeah, when you got like really mega whales on your right, they basically lose at 100 BBs per 100. So you can probably expect to collect most of that being on their direct left. You should expect to collect the vast majority of those losses. And we just bet here with top pair, top kicker. He's usually chasing. If he has like king, jack, queen, he can still call river. So we just go for more value. Right in these spots like this on kind of wet boards. One, fish and whales don't play aggressively enough, so you don't really need to be too worried about getting check raised here by a bluff. Most of the check raises are going to be 7s, deuces, 5s, like jack 5 suited, the big blind, stuff like that, jack 7 suited. And then their hands that are like 6-8 spades, 8-9 spades, stuff like that are just check calling flop, check calling turn, check folding river. Which is why, like, when you're in a pool or you're up against players that don't check raise turn enough, then your big equity hands, like when you say had 6-8 of spades here, value of double barreling turn goes way up because you realize all your fold equity, I guess. Versus if you're against an aggressive player who will check shove you when you have those combo draws, then you kind of put yourself in a really awkward spot. So like blasting becomes like less good. Because like if they like check shove, you're not actually getting odds to call or anything. So he limp raises. We're just calling ace queen here. There's not really a whole lot else to do. Don't leave, Jesse. Don't do it. Oh, it takes a bit of a win, and he's gonna dip maybe. Okay, we'll fold the 9-4. Fold the king deuce, fold the ace 6. Check here. And we'll bet the king deuce off for value. High quantum cold calls is the cutoff. You're gonna see that with probably a pretty wide range. Doubt it's kings or aces like ever though, so I think top pair, top kicker here is gonna be a very strong hand. Given his stack size, we can just fold Jack 10 suited, I think, when we're stuck in small blind. Big blind, we could call it or shove it, but kind of pinned in the middle here, we don't want to be calling. And then he shoves, and then he calls, and now we just got this shitty hand that's getting theoretical like pause to call. But is actually just going to be really far behind. No action with the top pair, top kicker. Fold the Jack 9. And we'll just check back here. I guess we should check, make sure there's no other tables up. There are not. There's a 5-10 up and running though. Love to swap spots with that guy. Okay, King Jack suited, 3-betting. Looks like he got it in there, didn't he? Got it in with, or no, he just won some hands in a row. And with the ace king, we're just gonna see bet folds. Yeah. He's just gonna fold a huge portion of his range, so. Raise the 9s. Okay. With 3-bet, he calls. It's a pretty good board for us. We are going to defend Jack 10 suited. We are going to value bet the 9s. And here, I think we just go half pot or something. Take that down. All right. Flop top pair gets a bunch of whales. I don't even want to sit out here, though. I don't even know what to do. Okay. I think we value bet here. Okay, bets for us. That's fine. So it's ace king off. Top pair, okay, call. I think we have to call here. Nice. Yeah, he gets pretty, I guess. So just want to make a note in. It seems to get. Oh no. Okay, good. Turns and rivers when flop is checked around. God, this time make is a nightmare. Okay. I don't even know what happened here, but I just click it to get in the pot. So. And we'll bet here. And I guess we just let that go. We kind of have every, oh, misclick. Didn't realize what I had. Terrible fold. Don't do that. Yeah, we kind of want him to have everything we have, so we'll just let that go. We do block 8-9 though. So it would be, if we had like a pair, it'd be better to call blocking that. I just don't want to sit at this table. I have to take a break here for a minute though. I think we'll just keep Jesse in the flop or in the pot call. Yeah, it's a good turn card value bet on the jack. Raise the ace king. Right, we'll just check, excuse me, to Danny. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, we check call here. And we do value bet top two. Raise the 8-5 suited. And I'm just gonna rip this. Given stack sizes and this villain, we're definitely calling here. Okay. Go full pot or something, we'd probably just fold the gut shot. Half pot, we definitely don't. All right, let's get the 7 of diamonds. Okay, 8's good. 8 puts us ahead of all the ace king, ace queen, ace 10, king queen type hands. You'll half pot again. Definitely calling. Proceed cautiously though. Pretty much we're folding rivers unless we make 2 pair or straight. That's a good card. If they blast, we'll just call, I think. I don't think we need to shove. Pocket aces up here, we raise. Nice. Saved by the river. Even if they flipped out their card, we'd be calling. But anyways, even if they flipped out pocket kings there, we have to call down. Even sizings. Okay, so we are just going to take a 2-minute break, 3-minute break, whatever it is. And then we will just be right back. Okay, we are back, everybody. Okay, or we'll try to be back anyways. I think I just hear the hooligans up and running, so we'll see how long this lasts. Now we get to walk with ace king. Now fold jack four. So here, check on the pretty good morning, I'd say. Up 600 so far, over 600 hands. I suggest he was waiting for us to come back, I see. Okay. Raise the 4-3 off. Take it down. So against these guys, we're just going to be looking to play a lot of small pots with our weak hands, and then just go after the big ones with big hands. Raise the jack 9. Okay, got Danny Andre on 2 tables. Okay. Ruby Jones. Cernet Salon. Check 8 suited is probably a bit loose, but 5-handed might be okay. Especially when we just have, an advantage on them. We lost him. Jacks. Suspect we're going to lose him as well. He calls. Ace of the jacks. Okay, it's a pretty good flop for us. Value bet. Calls, and we'll just pick it up to half pot here. And then called free, so we are going to be a little bit more cautious on this board. Pocket 3s, pocket 7s, 5x, that type of stuff. And then we'll just value bet river, tiny. We're just targeting like 6-7, pocket 8s, ace high, ace deuce, ace 4, stuff like that might call down still. Probably doesn't have too many queens, but if he's raising, he just had the 5. Okay, fold the 8-3. Fold the queen 6. Could argue maybe just checking that flop. Fold the 8 deuce. Raise the ace, the queen 8 suited. Definitely defend the 6. Take a flop with 4-5. Okay, I think we'll double barrel here once we pick up some equity. Then check back flop. Could have a jack still. But, okay. And now we'll just value bet against ace high. Full pot, we'll let that go. What happened here? Bet. Call. Rips it. Okay, I guess we fold here for now. raise the ace-4 off. I don't really intend to play much heads up, even against that's a terrible river card. Even against like a fish, we're just really not very good at heads up. So the fish is like even semi-aggro. And I mean, in the reality is, if they're even slightly decent, it's going to be hard to turn any kind of profit heads up because the rake is just so high. With the 10 high, we don't have much. We just let that go. Raise the ace-5 suited. We'll raise the king-jack. The ISO should be bigger there. We will check back flop here. Okay, we're going to value bet now. I think for a little bit, we are going to value bet the 8. Fold 7-4. Fold 4 deuce offsuit. I'll defend the 5-4 suited. Seems to be just limping a whole bunch. Probably just limping, trying to hit. I'll defend the king-queen off. Okay, it's good flop. Full pot. No, definitely call there. Proceed cautiously if he does pot this turn as well. Okay, shrinks it. Alright, so he's left. We're just done with that hand. Should win here. Nice. And I don't like the turn bet. Should probably just check back turn. It's not really too many bad cards for him. Any king or ace like hits, you're already losing, most likely. But 2 pair now. Okay, we're gonna check raise here. Like, okay, I was gonna say we're gonna check raise there like 100% of the time. And the reason being that we have 4-5, like we block 4-5, we block 5-6, so. And just to confirm, flop checks. No, we bet he called. Interesting. I think we bet again with the king here though. Take it down. I mean, that was a good run this morning though for that table. There was a lot of fishy sort of players there, so pretty happy with that. I think we dipped a bit. Yeah, flying back up though quite a bit too. Do we 3-bet or do we try to keep this guy in the pot? Probably just 3-bet. It's pretty tight though. Attempt to steal zones. Okay. We do a lot of checking on this board. Fold the 9-3. Come on. Guess we check one more time. So the issue kind of is when he checks back flop and the king rolls off, it's like so much more likely he has the king here. It's funny. I think I'm folding. I just believe him when he goes that big. Terrible run out. Yeah, it's a weird one. I just kind of believe him. I guess is really what all that comes down to. It's probably supposed to be a call, but when he goes like 3/4 pot on the king and he check back flop, like all of his like low cards are gonna have some sort of equity that are gonna bet that flop with. And then I have so much king X in my range that for him to bet that, he just probably has to have the hand. I think he's also a fish and kind of spewy, so it's actually hard to say. But and we're deuces. Okay, it's a good flop. And we'll just go small. Have a king. Okay. Didn't 3-bet pre, so probably doesn't have ace king, kings aces. He did think on that ace though, which is interesting. Nothing. All right, I think we're gonna end this stream-ish soon. Let's just see here. A very winning day so far. Okay. Fold the knight deuce, fold the king six. Probably just check back the jack queen here. Yeah, I think we're just done with the hand. It's fine. Should probably bet the flop and turn there, I guess. Or bet turn. At any point, bet something. Munker 9,000. 3-bets us. We'll defend the jack queen suited. Fold the 3 deuce. So, the fact that he's a bit stationy, we probably should just fold that hand. Move on to the next. Raise up the king jack suited. So if you guys are just joining the stream, make sure you hit that like button. Really does help the stream out. So we ISO raised, a little small here. Snap calls. I think we still value it. He does fold there. And we'll defend the queen jack off. Just too small. Got check raise here. Block king jack, block king queen. Do have some backdoors. We have pocket sevens, pocket eights, 7, 8, king 7. All those types of hands. So when he goes that small on this board, check raise is the way to go. And we'll defend the 7-8 suited. It's a good flop. I don't mind calling fives some portion of the time in this position. It is tempting to bet here. I think I do bet here though. Okay. It's kind of gross, all things considered. And we don't want to go. Oh, okay. It's one way to do it. I mean, it's not terrible. He blocks like he blocks ace queen, he blocks king queen. He has the ace of spades. The issue is like you're bluffing like the ace of spades is the nuts, and it's not because the board's paired. Right? What the fuck? Well, when somebody has this tight and then they rip it, I'm just gonna fold the ace king off. Not sure if that's good or bad, to be honest. But when they don't raise, they don't 3-bet, they don't steal, they don't do anything without the nuts, and then they shove pre. Honestly, that's probably a guy who's had his aces cracked before and he just wants to shove. So that I don't call with 5-6 suited and then like suck out on him or whatever you want to call it. Swallow. That would be my assumption of that play. Now, when you're up against somebody who's like 54, 60, 70, and like 20, it's obviously a different story, and we would call there. Could also be a misclick every once in a while. Sorry guys, I'm just texting away here. Um, Interesting. Is it super nitty if I just fold? 13. I call 17. We're super deep. Yeah, it's probably terrible to fold there. It's an interesting flop. Fire at 10%, because that just screws with everybody. And the reason it does is because they think, okay, well, unless I have kings or something, I'm just gonna call. If he has like draws, he'll end up just calling. Ace king probably just calls. I have so much pocket 10 in this range. Pocket 8s, king 10, stuff like that. I also, doing this, can have exactly what I have, some sort of gutter ball. Um, I think we just fold it. I don't want to see it check. Yeah, sometimes it's worth it to be a little speedy. I don't know. Maybe you just fold pre-flop. I'm not sure really. I don't even think that it's hard though. Like that raise is hard to put a hand to it because I don't even know if aces would do that. To be honest, like raise there. Not sure. But anyways, I think given the time, uh, and a little bit of a long, that's only an hour 20, eh? It's still not very long. Got to get some long streams going here. But I think overall, yeah, not super happy with that last hand we just played. Uh, we will 3-bet here with sixes. I think overall, yeah, pretty happy. Obviously this morning, 729 hands, 600. Raise the ace jack off. King 4 suited raise. Gonna go big here with two overcards. Snap calls. All right, we're just gonna fold or check. Well, now we're gonna value bet. And we want to double barrel here a lot in the bottom left, so I'm gonna go small and then big. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna shove. NL50, whatever. Yeah, it is what it is. He could just, the thing is, he could just randomly have some worse flush draws. That's all. And my hand. So I don't think it's terrible. It's either like fold or shove it. So I think for his stack size, it's kind of whatever. If you have a flush, just get it in. So, but anyways, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. This is the 100K bankroll challenge. Uh, we are on day 56.